Welcome to season 2 of Take Up Space. I just want to say I'm really happy we're here this season, trying something completely new, changing it from like my little podcast with Vikash to ours as a community. So bringing in more voices, more perspectives, and hopefully doing this type of community setting that you see in this room right now more often with different hosts, maybe these same faces, but the idea is the same thing. We really want to bring honest, vulnerable, raw conversations to this platform, have people feel like they're either getting knowledge or perspective or hearing stories and not feel alone, to talk about things that are uncomfortable but in a fun and connected way. And so you can also see faces that represent people like you. All that said, today, for this first episode of the second season of Take Up Space, I wanted to bring on some of my favorite guests from season 1 that really, really made an impact on myself and what I heard from you guys as well. So the first one is Vikash. Everybody should know him, LCSW, all these other great things that I'm not going to say, but basically you came in so hot and heavy with the episode we first did where we first met, right?
Yes,
and we became
that was the first
friends
time we met.
after that.
Over a year ago now.
Yeah. And it was, I thought, so vulnerable, so honest. Like we said, you're an intersection of so many things. And you talked about sexual violence in the community and your own personal experience. And I think people really engaged with that. I don't know if it was because your brother sent it to everyone.
Yeah,
or
he definitely
people
did that.
actually engaged with it. Who knows? But anyways, we love Vikash. And then we have Aliya, and that was the whole debate. Your episode, I think we talked about epigenetics. You talked about both of your parents, where they come from, the immigration stuff, and how it's impacted you. I thought you were amazing. And I think people also really resonated with how honest and vulnerable you were, unapologetically. So I'm so happy you're here as well. And then we have Gauthami, Vemila, Kwejo. Been practicing that for a year. Okay, my favorite line from your episode was when you said that, oh man, I'm not going to say it well, but basically you were saying, why do we have to hide our pain and pretend that we're happy in our community? And it's like reputation versus reality.
Right.
That's what it was. I love that episode as well. The work you do with Color Me Safe, the work you've been doing is just so meaningful. And so it's an honor to have you here. So I picked these 3 favorite people. I'm going to ask each of you guys to maybe introduce yourselves briefly, who you are, if you want to say anything more than I've said, and also what have you been up to since the last time you sat on this sofa or been in this room, and maybe your life in 30 seconds or less.
30 seconds.
Current life status. We'll start with Vikash because you're seasoned.
I felt that.
He's done this many times.
Okay. In addition to anything you said, I mean,
Yeah.
I've had my 1-year wedding anniversary since the last time we met. Because when I met, I was 3 weeks married, I think.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
4 weeks. And now
That's right.
it's close to 1 year. And it's been really great. I don't know why people throw shade on marriage like that for me personally. I think if you find the right person, it's very, very easy.
Yeah.
Or not easy, but it's fun. I don't know. That's just me. But post 1 year, and the biggest sort of state is transition. I'm in a very big state of optimistic transition right now. Got a physical space for my private practice. So
Love
I
that.
transitioned out of virtual, completely overhauled my work schedule in a good way. So I have more access to do more things in the week. A lot of stuff in dance that's also transitional that I've been playing around with and hasn't taken.
Yeah,
So,
can you share the events you've hosted just overall? It's really cool stuff.
oh man. So there's only been 2 events. They took a lot of work, but 2 events last year. At the end of the year, I hosted a street dance event called Autumn, which was a dance battle.
Nice.
And it
with
was
the music.
yes. So the intention of the battle was to be a third space for Indian and Western / American music and street dance. So paying homage to Black street dance and culture, but also bringing in the flavor of Indian and South Indian street dance.
Wow.
And the
And so-
DJ
Super
was
cool.
sick.
DJ was amazing.
really?
Yes.
Amazing. Yeah.
His name's
to go.
Alad. He's fantastic. Events like this couldn't happen without the music being on point, and a respect for the culture and knowing how to DJ is really important.
Yeah.
He's incredible. There's an entire movement in Chicago that does really, really well, and I've been lucky enough to be tapped into a lot of those guys and those people, and so they came, did a fantastic job.
Amazing.
Hoping to do it again at the end of this year, and then hosted another sort of fundraising street dance session and event to raise money for basically anti-ice shit.
Yeah.
So did pretty decent
Love
there.
that.
And
Yeah.
there's always a bunch of stuff in the works, and I really, really want to keep doing it.
Oh,
It's amazing.
that's amazing. You've been so busy
I have.
in such a good way.
I don't really know how not to be.
Yeah.
So
That's what we're going to talk about. What are we running from?
Aliya. Yes. Aliya Sharif. I'm a psychologist. I'm a mom and a daughter. If I identify myself, I'm thinking about like things that you didn't say. Those are things that are really and sister. Life. I feel like I thought about this question a lot, and I feel like I'm gonna get emotional. I feel since last time we spoke, I feel super blessed. Like really, really at a place in my life where I've learned to be a little bit more still, and I've learned to be so much more present with my son.
I can literally tell by the cadence of your voice.
Right?
It's shifted since I first met you.
Yeah.
Which was like a couple years ago.
I was
Yeah.
yeah, that's 100%. Yeah, I've learned like I'm so enjoying being present with my son. Like I can see his smile like in the little things we do together, even if it's like jumping on the trampoline. And that doesn't not anything like chaotic or big. And we do have big plans, but just the small stuff. Going on a walk together. We've been biking together, which has been super fun.
How old is he?
He's 9.
Love that age.
Right?
Such a fun
He
age.
doesn't talk back yet.
It's coming.
Yeah,
No. We love. It's me and him for life.
Those are canon events, though.
Right. I'm in a really healthy relationship, and so that's been really nice. You know, it's been lessons learned through the relationship and tackling my own stuff and dealing with my stuff in order to be healthy, to be together. And so I'm like really fully embracing love in all aspects of my life, love in this relationship, love with my child, and even love with my parents. I live in a multi-generational home. So embracing my parents' love, watching them love my son.
Yeah.
My practice is doing really well, and I'm working on expansion and rebranding and making the practice something that's in line with myself and more community-oriented practice than this traditional Western private one-on-one practice. And I'm playing with the idea of what that means. So I feel really good.
I love that.
Really good. I'm grateful. I'm super grateful, super blessed.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
thanks for sharing. I love it.
Thanks.
Gauthami?
Hi, I'm Gauthami Vemula Kaijo, GBQ, not BBQ.
Okay.
But other than being the founder and chief empathy officer of Color Me Safe Foundation, I am a recovering people pleaser. Yes, I'm earning a PhD in the art of saying no.
Yeah.
Yes, I have a master's in dropping the F-bomb at the most inconvenient times. And a bachelor's degree. I want to earn a bachelor's degree in RBF.
Resting
Got you.
face.
You know? Yes.
Stick with me.
Wow.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly. But in addition,
You're being so serious.
I am being so serious. But since the last time we spoke, lots of healing has taken place. I've come to terms that I'm not going to be a mom in this lifetime. And that's okay because I've decided to pour my love and heart into humanity.
Yeah.
But I do have great news. I am officially a dog mom.
Yay.
Beam has joined our family at 8 weeks old. 7.5 pounds, and he's the cutest little thing.
He is so
He looks
cute.
like a cartoon
Yeah.
character.
Yeah.
So I'm at a really good place right now. Reflective era, I would say.
Yeah.
So things are moving and things are growing, and I'm feeling humbled. So
Thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
I'm going to put a photo of Beam at the bottom.
okay.
And can you tell us what Beam means?
So Beam is a very iconic
Yeah.
person from our epic story in Hinduism called the Mahabharata.
So cool.
He is one of the Pandavas. See, the meaning of Beam is loyal, wise, mighty. Yeah. Mighty little beam. Chota beam.
I love that so much.
Yeah.
I love it.
I call him Beam Babu, and the last name is Keijo, so AKA barbecue. Yeah. My mom's like, don't call him that. It's not cute.
I think it's so cute.
Yeah.
It is cute.
Yeah.
I have some funny names.
Well, nobody asked me, but I think I'll share.
Farha. Farha, Since the last time we have spoken, what's been going on in your life?
Yeah, I just wanted to share. Everybody got so real. I was like, wait, I feel like distant. I don't want to come in. It's been such a long time since I sat here. I reflected a lot. I did a little bit with Vikash, and I was like, man, why did I start this podcast? What was I like going for, you know? And I remember talking to him and saying like, I really wanted to challenge the parts of me that were too scared to take up space and like carried a lot of shame and fear from childhood and all these other things. And I was like, well, I did that. So now what are we doing?
Let's run too.
Yeah. And I think another thing I reflect on was like, I don't know if you guys can relate, but sometimes I feel like we're trying to heal and we'll pick up something and we'll learn something and we'll get really passionate about it, like a new book or like a new modality or like a new podcast, right? Like we'll go in it and we go in with our best intentions. Right. But on a real note, I think sometimes like for me, subconsciously, I feel like I'm just chasing for the other thing that can keep me distracted from having to like actually sit with discomfort or enhance more of like a new part of myself that then adds like to my self-esteem, but it doesn't actually like foster true growth, if that makes sense. Yeah. So it's like you think you're chasing healing, but then really it's like you're just still trying to make up for a very insecure personality, or like you haven't been still with yourself yet because you've just been like working a lot. So I reflected on all these things and I was like, I think that's true. Like, I think there was a little bit of a chase to this entire thing that I had to sit back and be like, is that the place I want to visit something from? Because I don't think that's sustainable. Like, it just doesn't work for long. And the last thing I'll say is I also realized that I really wanted like people in my life that don't do healing, like don't do inner work, to watch the podcast. And suddenly changed, completely changed. Like suddenly just like, you know, go to therapy and like learn all the things and do all the things. And so we could be like best friends and they could totally understand me and see me. But that didn't happen. Like it didn't even happen at all. Those people stopped listening like after the first episode. So it was really a failed attempt. And when I realized that, I was like, you know, Farha, I don't think you're ever going to get what you're looking for in that direction. You're just going to have to look within. And that's always the answer. Always look inside. Anyway, so a lot of healing has happened in the last year. And I also decided to cut my practice down a little bit. Like I just see like half of what I was seeing. It got really full really fast. So I was super happy about that. And then I cut it down a lot because I was losing my sanity. I don't know how you guys do it, Aliya and Vikash. I've seen your schedules and I don't understand. I literally realize my capacity is 2 people a day and that's it. And so I'm full. So I can't take anybody either. Anyway.
See how she like looked
I look right at the camera.
So
don't ask me.
So they know to take it personal.
Don't ask me on any directory, please. I'm having such a hard time saying no. So it's so hard to say
you
no.
Shut it off and people still message.
People still message. And they find you.
Phone call. I feel super guilty. I sometimes don't answer phone calls, and I'm like, oh. And then I see a message, and I'm like, oh, I gotta respond. I gotta.
I understand. Yeah.
Do you want to take the master's class with me?
I will. No? I will take that with you.
Yeah. Join me. It's hard.
Is it?
No.
Okay. It's scary. And so all that to say, I really wanted to approach this season with a different energy and a different heart. I want to make it more ours than anything it has been. And I still think it's so meaningful and it's such a valuable space. So I'm coming with it from a different heart and I'm coming at it with more honesty and reflection. So I'm really appreciative that you guys are here.
And we are grateful to you to create this space and platform for all of us, you know, for the listeners.
And now you get to keep it. Gauthami is hosting the next episode.
We wedded.
I just want to make sure I heard that correctly. The eyes that she gave me.
I don't know if you meant to say no, but that was
episode 2 is going to be about dating in the modern age, and Gauthami Vemla-Kwejo is going to be hosting it. Just thought I'd plug that in there if you're listening.
Like how you do that before we did anything with this.
We didn't even discuss.
Just there.
Be there. You got to. Okay. All right, guys. On a serious note, transitioning from all that, thank you for sharing. the episode today, I really wanted to get into like how we are really doing. So we always like, you guys might have noticed this, you ask yourselves and your friends, how are you? I'm good. Or you, even a stranger on the street, a lot of times the guy's like, yo, how are you? And I'm like, good. You? Good.
Yeah.
Cool. And that's like the extent of our conversation. And sometimes even with the closest friends, you're like, hey, how is it? And you give like content level updates, like I did this, that, and the third, but you're never like, but like, how are you really? Like, how is your heart? How is your soul? Like, what are you working on? Are you, where are you? And I think with everything going on in the world and like the chaos, but also the suffering, but also the hope, I mean, there's so much there. It's great to check in and like really pause and check in. So I guess to start with you guys, I'm just curious, through your changes through the last year in this moment right now, what is like something that's been on your mind?
I think just for me, just how dehydrated the world is right now.
Yeah.
Oof. That's a good way to put it.
You know, it is. And we all need water. The world needs some water and hydration. It is a continuous wildfire. Some days are good and some days are seriously like, what the F just happened?
Yeah.
You know? And specifically for empaths, we feel it a little bit more. And it's like you want to save the world. You want to do so much. How do we empathize? You know, prime example, everything that's happening in Palestine. The only way I feel like I can empathize from here is watching the videos, listening to the news. But how much can we take personally, emotionally, and mentally? You know, so hope and I wish for respite soon than later. But are we really going to get that? Or is it just going to get worse and worse day by day? So it's like we have to force ourselves to find the simple joys of everyday life right now.
Yeah. I like the way you use the word dehydrated.
Yeah.
I feel like that really paints a picture. And I think like when I'm listening to the news, like I'll just say, generally speaking, in the past I would ignore it completely, to be honest. Like I would just want to pretend like it's not happening so that I could find the joy easier.
Yeah.
And then more recently, it's been like, unfortunately, more, I don't want to use the word entertaining, but like it's more chaotic than like the reality TV show on Netflix. And then I'm just over consuming it. And suddenly I'm like wanting to shut down. I'm overwhelmed because the empath in me is like holding it somewhere deep. And then I don't participate in the activism around what you could actually do. So I feel like it's like a journey and maybe different and subjective for everyone in terms of the response.
Sure.
Yeah. I found for me, so I recently went to, say his name right, Basim Youssef, his comedy show, and he
Who is
talks.
it?
Basim Youssef.
Okay.
I want to say he's Egyptian. I think his wife is Palestinian. I'm not 100% sure about that part though. You guys, it was so soothing. Like, I know that sounds wild to say, like listening to someone talk about the depths of what's happening, right? And yet, I think what I found in that moment and what it helped me to realize was it's the conversations that help me. So my dad, my parents are from East and Central Africa, and so my dad oftentimes talks about politics with me and has since I was a little kid. And Basim did this really cool thing where he was about to talk about like, and I don't know that he did this, but it connected it for me in my mind where he's like the dad, right? And he's talking to his daughter. And for me, it was like that moment where I recognize my dad taught me so much. And until this day, when I'm upset, and like I'm just struggling with world events, all of it, and Congo included, because my mom's from Congo. And so like Congo, Palestine, I can find myself just derailed, living between I'm so blessed in what my life is, right? And then like, this is horrible and why are these things happening? And I'm ready to like go fight someone, but I don't know who I'm supposed to fight. But talking to my dad soothes me, and then I teach my son. And so I feel like preparing that next generation to continue what the generation before us started and not just letting it go, not being so consumed in it that it takes over, which some days it does for sure. But that has been, I'm realizing recently in the past, like honestly, only month, that while I've been teaching my son for a long time, at one point on a walk, he goes, I think I don't want to talk about stuff in the world anymore, Mom.
You know what? I commend that because you are having these conversations with your son at such a young age. And I think that's the obstacle right now. We are not having these conversations because there's a fear, right? Oh my God, what do they get? We want to shield them, especially our young kids, from everything, but they need to know because they're going to find out at school. Yeah. Or they're going to look at their social media.
Without any explanation unless you talk to them about it.
Or hear a perspective that is not a full perspective, right? Like I want him to hear things from my perspective, his grandfather's perspective, right? Like here, when you go to other parts of the world and you visit, so I was doing a lot of international travel, the perspective is real different outside of the US, right? Like there is a very different ball game when you leave the US. And you know, when you leave and then I want him to have a global perspective and be a global thinker. And so if like I think about how do I contribute, right? Like I might not be able to go to every protest. I might not find ways to move, but at least in my home I can do one thing. And then that gives me a little bit of hope, a little bit of like, okay, I'm not stuck. Like I don't like that feeling of stuck because then I get agitated and feel like punching people.
And wouldn't that be a form of activism right there?
Yeah. It's like finding your agency within the duality of it all.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that's a thing. Like there's so many ways to be an activist, right? There's some people who can take the risk and go on a flotilla. There's some people who can protest. Like our activism, reading a book. Like I bought my niece, she loves to read about world wars. And so I bought her a perspective of war in Palestine, right? And so I'm like, I can contribute by making sure the next generation doesn't forget and that the narrative isn't changed by what is being told here. Because that narrative is so... I was in West Africa and we were on a boat with a couple of people, and my cousin is lighter skinned than I am. I'm darker skinned. And so we were with Africans in Mali, and we were talking about education and books, and they go, well, we need to be careful who we tell the story to, and we don't write it down because then that means they can change the story.
Yeah.
And so that made me realize, I got to make sure the narrative doesn't change and that the next generation knows this narrative, right? So other people don't come in and like, we are seeing history being rewritten. We're seeing stories be retold in ways that aren't... I don't even know the word for them. It's not right. It doesn't make sense to me.
Slightly biased if we want a generous take.
Slightly.
It's Delulu.
I'm learning Gen Z language. Is that where the 6-7 comes from?
Gen Alpha. My son is Gen Alpha.
6-7 is like maybe, right?
You said keep it real.
No, please.
That was going to be 10 seconds.
Sing that louder. Sing that louder, but closer to the mic.
What if I get the words wrong?
Yeah.
This is what I remember, right? Wasn't it?
Do it.
3, 6, 9. Suck it to me one more time.
That's a song. It's an actual song.
Get low.
I don't think 6-7 is from anything.
I don't think 6-7 is way newer than that song.
No.
8-1.
That much I know.
8-1.
Within the year.
Okay.
I think.
We're from the 8-1?
8-1.
We the 8.
I don't know.
We're the wrong people to
90210.
Oh, yeah,
figure
this group isn't about 6-7.
Nope.
Anyway.
I had to support 6-7 because I have a Gen Alpha kid. He had a 6-7 Christmas shirt.
Oh
Did
my
he?
God.
Great.
I just remembered as host, I'm supposed to make sure we don't do this.
Oh, okay.
Vikash.
Oh.
We
Yes?
derailed. It was my only job to make sure we
I'm
stay
still
on
waiting for
topic.
what- You just said my name and then nothing came after that.
Everyone answered.
She said, you're supposed to bring it
everyone
back.
answered what's been on their mind lately.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Damn.
I was locked
okay.
into
6-7.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, even in the introduction when I was saying like transition, honestly, that has been the whole thing. Transition on every external level, but it's being mirrored on an internal level quite a bit. And even speaking to just, I really like, unfortunately, like that phrase dehydrated world, because that's such a good way to characterize it. I've noticed that when my capacity is starting to reach maximum, so, I mean, you floated this kind of, I think, rhetorical question around like, how do clinicians do what they, as a clinician
I've
yourself.
seen your schedule.
I know.
I've seen it.
I have tricks, and I have a lot of pride around the tricks that I've figured out to be able to maintain the level of capacity that I can. So I'm maximizing. And I've noticed the more, I'm going to say, dehydrated the world gets, the less those tricks start to work. And so part of the motivation behind the level of transition that's happening for me is because I need a restructuring to keep up with my ability to have the bandwidth to continue doing the
Nice.
work.
Yeah.
And thankfully, that restructuring is going really well
Okay.
because it's including a lot of stuff that's feeding my ecosystem in the way that it needs to.
Mm.
Because I don't remember where I got this analogy from. I know it's a popular one, this idea of like tending to, instead of filling up your cup before somebody else's, the imagery of tending to your ecosystem before caring for others.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's always stuck with me because it's like it's a living system. You constantly need to be there's just more considerations of humanism built into that imagery. So I like that a lot.
Yeah.
But I also noticed that the foundation of my ecosystem doesn't work when the state of the world has been transitioning to the level that it has.
Yeah.
So I need to build a stronger foundation. And so the transition that I'm in right now is I'm kind of in the middle of that.
Building that.
Building
Yeah.
that. And so I am a bit floaty right now overall.
Mhm.
I'm not as grounded as I want to be, but I know I'm still tapped in enough to be able to do the work. And I'm feeling enough of the benefits immediately from some of these transition pieces. Like I have a physical office space. I have a colleague who's also private practice, but it's a colleague I deeply trust from a clinical sense, especially because I don't think this is new information. I probably mentioned it before that I'm deeply cynical about the way that the mental health industry is and a lot of clinicians. And I'm very, very particular about who I trust with having conversations about clinical work. And my colleague, her name is Zaina. She was at Darcy with me. Well, I was only there for a few months that overlapped with her, but she was there for like a couple of years.
Okay.
But deeply, deeply respect her clinical just mind, and we're very good friends. And so she's the person that me and her got together to make our own office space so that we're no longer isolated in our clinical work and we have at least
Each other.
like I didn't really have a consult space
Yeah.
before that.
Yeah.
And we're already feeling the effects of being able to just have camaraderie around that. And that has given my bandwidth enough of a spark to kind of keep up with maintaining, trying to keep doing the work while especially because the work itself has started to feel a lot more hopeless in the sense that I don't have anything to I'm running out of stuff to offer as far as beyond sitting with them in how shitty stuff is.
Exactly.
Because, like,
Yeah.
most of what they're reacting to, a lot of my clinical work right now, most of what they're reacting to is nothing abnormal or disordered. It's very natural, expected reactions that human bodies are going to have in response to stuff that's happening. So there's nothing to address. There's no like tools to react. The only way to address it would be to encourage them to dehumanize themselves. And like I can't. That's the literal opposite of what the point is.
Right.
Yeah.
So with all of that, the ultimate answer is I'm in transition with the intention by I'm going to give myself like 2, maybe 3 months for the brunt of that transition to be finished.
Yeah.
To be able to step into that bandwidth and like continue the work,
Mhm.
but not just the work there, but also I have like the dance projects and
Yeah.
all these in all aspects of my life.
I love that. Yeah.
So a bit floaty right now, but grounded enough to keep doing stuff and with the expectation that I'm going to be more grounded within the next couple of months because things are going optimistically well in the bubble of transition that I'm working on with the intention of that foundation is going to help me out a little bit with everything else.
You're like finding your life force and your energy again.
I love what he said,
Yeah.
getting involved in other things outside of what we're doing every day is so
Absolutely.
important. Just finding those simple joys and whatever it may be.
Because we're taking in what's happening with the world, impacted by it, but we're also supporting a bunch of people who are impacted by it.
Yeah.
And I think what you said is, Vikash, is like what I was thinking to ask is when a client or families come to you and they're basically telling you their reality, which is, the word hopeless comes to mind because a lot of what's happening is not something we can control or something we need to address, like you said. How do you guys respond, one, but also like internally in your own nervous system? How is that landing for you? Like how are you feeling in response? Because I'm having a hard time.
So one thing I will say this. So
Yeah.
it's interesting because not just a while ago, I was thinking about this and wrote about it a little bit. I don't know how you guys feel. So I'm putting myself out there a little bit. I am so annoyed with our field, with this idea of grounded and like what that means, because there's this way that it started to be like co-opted where we're peaceful and we're centered. We're supposed to feel rage right now. We're supposed to be angry right now. I think if we're not, to your point, there's something wrong, and I'm not going to disconnect from that. And so instead, what I think about is community and collective, meaning like, let's feel a collective rage, right? Let's be together in our rage. Because I think when we're alone in our rage, that's problematic. Like, this is happening over here, and oh, you're alone. I don't know why you're upset. But what if we're all upset together? Then that to me is a true definition of grounded is I'm supposed to be angry. I'm supposed to feel this, know that I'm feeling what I'm feeling, right? Recognize that this is rage and this rage is appropriate. It is meant to be. And so I think nervous systems are meant to go like, are we supposed to see this much? No. Is it supposed to be this bad? No. Those things are abnormal. Those things are not okay. But I think, and that's to my point earlier when I was saying I talked to my dad, like when I sit in environments like this and we're raging together, I walk out being like, oh, okay, I
Feel good now.
like I'm happy. I'm okay to rage. I'm not directing it then to someone else. I know that I'm not alone, right? Like, and I think that like sense of community and collectivism is what doesn't make us stuck.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a better word, but so that's to me, that's what I think about when I kind of move is if grounded means peaceful, I don't want to be grounded.
Yeah.
If that's what the definition is, right? If that's what has been co-opted, I want to feel the rage. I want to feel the sadness, the deep grief that mothers are feeling, that families are feeling. Like I just think about, I can't stop replaying like Soul of My Soul, like that. I don't know if you guys remember, but it was like very early during the genocide when a grandfather was holding his granddaughter and the soul of my soul. And he said, you are the soul of my soul.
Yes, I do remember that.
Yeah.
And I just keep like that plays in my head. And I'm like, but we're supposed to feel that deep grief. Right? Like I'm supposed to feel sad. I'm supposed to feel like they're moved to tears because if I'm not, am I connected to other parts of the world? Am I connected to this world and I'm connected to myself?
Yeah.
Going back to what you were saying in my early 30s, late 30s, you know, parents were trying to set me up and stuff, right? And they would always say, oh, think positively, read The Secret, read The Secret.
Oh,
The
I
Secret.
fucking-
I'm like,
I watched that.
we are
movie.
human. We should be allowed to feel
Yeah.
whatever we're feeling, whether it's anger, whether it's happiness, joy. We should be able to be just feel and let go and be. What is this whole thing about? Oh, you have to be positive all the time. I'm not always woo woo and zen, you know, and I shouldn't have to be. If I'm feeling this, and I should be free to express it the way I want to. So going back to the whole rage thing, yeah, pisses me off what's happening. And it makes me so angry that we are allowing this to happen in all sides of the world.
Yeah.
So this whole grounding, whole thinking, excuse me, thinking positively. I'm sorry, I just can't agree with that all the time.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, I think it's sold as a way to like disconnect from what's happening versus actually ground. To me, like the importance of grounding, if I were to stand on the other side of what you guys are saying, is to be able to feel your emotions as deeply as you need to, but then to be able to come back. So what I mean is like you don't want them to lead. You don't want them to be the only thing in the driver's seat. It's like I have all these emotions. I can experience all of them, be in them, but I also have like my self energy within that. And I can choose what's driving and what's navigating. And so grounded to me is like just having the ability to move through that.
Right.
Not necessarily I need to be grounded, peaceful, disconnected, avoidant around what's going on to make it easier on me. You know what I mean?
Recognize it and then work through it.
Work through it, but feel it, but
Feel
don't
it.
skip it,
Right.
which is the point of what you're saying.
I think I've been lucky enough to not run into this idea of defining or making grounded and peaceful synonymous. It's unfortunate that was even a thing that's shown up. I didn't know what part of it too. I mentioned this already too. I'm deeply cynical about and very isolated and
He is
in my own
since last year.
Since last year. But the cynicism in the sense that like I just kind of I stopped having conversations with people in the field a lot. Kind of intentionally so, and then just so I've heard and then dedicated a lot of the energy towards reading, but like reading very specific stuff like Dr. Milan's decolonizing therapy. I'm working through, but what will people say now? And then I
like that one. Yeah.
There's a Third Reich history series. It's like really long, but that's basically just putting that towards that because I wanted to take in information with it, and I was having a really hard time trusting, especially after I read the decolonizing therapy pieces and then seeing how present all that actually is, and therefore how little trust I have to be able to have conversations about it. Because I'm like, I can't. There's no way. I knew that I was feeling something off when I tried to, and now I have names for those things. And so because of all that, maybe that's why I've been fortunate enough to not, because I've understood grounding as avoiding delusion and avoiding avoidance, essentially.
Mm.
But I also understand too that we have a lot of psychological machinery dedicated to avoidance, which is a good skill set in survival
Useful
situations.
in
It's
in
useful
certain
when it's
situations.
like it's
Yeah.
not, and that's part of humanism, is that all of it is useful. The problem is when it becomes not useful, and then avoidance with like it,
Or it makes you
right,
less human,
makes less human.
yeah.
And then I think grounded being peaceful is ultimately a good example of it being not useful because that represents avoidance taken to the wrong degree. Right? It's
Yeah, it gets thrown out to me. I'm so grateful you said what you said because sometimes I'm like, can I not talk to people within our field? And there's this way that I'm seeing like I'm gonna 30-second derail.
Do
Just
it.
everybody, like
You have a
not
lot of
everybody,
times.
so many people in like social media, like you can tell who's using AI. Like it's
oh
the
yeah,
same
fucking
thing,
AI.
and I'm just so confused because I'm like, are we not having a new thought? And but then that's where I'm seeing like the co-opted piece of it. So that's my 30-second derail. It's funny you mentioned books because
Mm,
I have decolonizing therapy on my book, and then also I think it's
beautiful book.
Handmaid's Tale.
Tales?
Yes, I have that one.
Handmaid's Tale. Oof.
But the one I've actually been enjoying and I've like flipped through like there's so tomorrow because it's like speaking to the depths of my soul is The Alchemist. It's not there
I heard
yet.
that's a
Mm.
It's a great
fantastic.
book.
It's always been there for me to
I think
read.
we read it when we were really little, but I want to reread it. I've
Maybe,
heard people say,
maybe,
yeah.
maybe I remember I don't know. I've like 2 days. Like just I feel like the gods or the earth, like it's speaking to me. I'm like, it's
Mm.
when you feel like you're supposed to read something
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and it was meant for you to read it in
That's
this moment, in this time for a
Ah.
purpose like that. So when you were talking about reading, it made me
yeah.
think about like therapy
Good
and
books are
non-therapy
good.
too.
Books are good.
Books are great.
Yes.
And
Some
now
Then
you
you don't
don't,
have to talk to people.
yeah, I was just gonna say now
and,
you don't have to talk to people.
and you
Now
can
you got
still
your
sit
way
in the
out.
work without having to worry about
Right?
safety being threatened. It's a big deal.
Okay, this is really great. I think I really appreciate like how honest you guys are being around this topic. Um, if I were to ask you like when you work with people
Mm.
or talk to people, just generally speaking, is there something you feel like they really, really are craving right now? If that makes sense, around what's happening in the world. So you said collective rage, and maybe it is that conversation in that community. You said the word dehydrated,
Yeah.
right? I'm curious, like, what do you guys think maybe everyone is secretly needing, or maybe they're communicating that you've picked up on that we can like bring forth?
Less performance, more conversation.
Yeah,
Everything is becoming so
yeah,
performative wellness, performative
it's
interactions,
true.
performative this, that. And it's like, okay, time to be real now.
Mhm.
Let's have a conversation. And I think a lot of people want to be seen, want to be heard, have these deep intellectual one-on-one conversations. And I'm not seeing a whole lot of that. They want safety.
Yeah.
They want to know that they're not going to be judged if I feel this way, if I say
That's
this.
true. Yeah. And
Mm.
Gauthami, you have those Ask Auntie
Yeah,
circles.
through Color
Mm.
Me Safe
Can you say
Foundation,
more?
we
Yeah.
have Ask Auntie, which are safe spaces for teens and children. And then we have Hey Sati. Sati means friend and companion for older adults and parents.
Hmm.
And this is really a safe space for families and teens and youth to come forward, to be seen, to be heard, and talk about, issues and topics that are relevant to them in a
Hmm.
safe, non-judgmental space.
Yeah.
And it's making an
I
impact.
was just gonna ask, yeah, how has that been? Like, how have you seen these
It's great.
kids
We have a
react?
lot of kids, we have a lot of adults returning to each of these sessions.
Mm.
And, we have a Ask Auntie over in Uganda as well. And you can
Wow.
see the impact that's being, made on those kids too. They
Mhm.
have a whole different set of issues. A lot of these children are orphans. They've been abandoned since they were kids. So to have somebody
Wow.
else come out and, facilitate the safe space for them, knowing that they are seen. Hey, somebody across the world sees me and they acknowledge my feelings is so beautiful and so
Yeah.
impactful.
Yeah.
It makes a world of difference.
It
So
does.
just, we started the season back in February. We ended just a few days ago. So up until this point, we've reached 255 attendees to be
Wow.
exact. And our
Wow.
spaces
great.
are growing. So yeah.
Amazing.
And that's what we need. We need safety right now.
Yeah.
Emotional,
Yeah.
mental, physical safety.
And you said over performance. I'm curious, like, where do you see the performative nature the most?
In my professional life and in my personal life.
Mm.
I don't know what it is. I just feel like some of the interactions that I've come across, I would say in the last 2 years, have been very transactional. It's,
Okay.
hey, you get a call. What can you do for me? Not even a, hey, how are you? At least ask me that. Then ask me, okay, hey, can you do this for me? You know, right? So it's like I that's why I'm learning the art of saying no.
Yeah.
I should know to
You
say
didn't even
no.
offer me chai.
Yeah,
How
at
dare you
least,
come
you
in
know,
and-
give me some, give me some chai, coffee, then ask me. And then you give them what they want, and then it's complete crickets. But that's up to us as individuals to put those boundaries up, and how far are we willing to go to say no? You know, we should be able to call it out.
Yeah.
So even on social media, it's a lot of performance, right?
Mhm.
Don't make me mimic some of these influencers
Do
that
it.
are out
You
there.
showed me this once over dinner. Please just take up some space and do this. It is so good. It is actually
Hi,
really good.
everybody. So I'm here at Take Up Space podcast, and it's such a great platform. And so this pillow here, it's really fluffy and green. I bought it from, I think, Home Goods or maybe even Nordstrom's. Anyways, subscribe here, follow me at Take Up Space, and become my 2,000 millionth follower. Okay, I'll see you next time. Thanks. Let's pray for Uvalde and then back to regular scheduled
My
programming.
insides just like revolted.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, right?
Are you in rage?
I don't even know if it's rage.
Go
It's like-
for it. Yeah, I hurl. That's where my RBF comes in, you
But
know?
you were so good at that.
I
just
know.
have to
I
say.
felt
I'm
it.
sorry, so thanks. Yeah.
You know what? I'm so glad
fucking
you
hated
said that,
that.
though,
Yeah.
because I am really struggling with the idea of making social media contents.
Yes, thank you.
And because I feel like, again, going back to everyone sounds the same.
Yeah.
And it irks me. And I don't know.
And do you honestly
I don't
think...
even have words. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, do you honestly
That's
think
a
all these
complete
products that some of these people, influencers, use? I want to ask them, how much do you put on your face? How much of these products do you really put on your face?
I go put it on my face. I have
Do you get sucked in? Are you a victim
I am.
of this?
I have taught me to lie. So in my beautiful age that I am, I have decided to embrace. I never used to wear makeup at all. Like I was like a no makeup.
You're
homegirl.
gorgeous.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I thank my parents because they didn't allow me to wear makeup since I was like until I was 18. So then by the time I was 18, I didn't care enough. And I used to sit at my friends watching. Okay, all that to say, I've started to wear makeup and I've gotten into it because there's this man from New Jersey who described wearing makeup as art. And as soon as he said it was art, I was like, I'm here for this. Let's go. Right. And so then I got into wearing makeup. I've been very influenced by many a people, and the amount of stuff in my house that I now have needed to go through and not buy anything is really sad, considering what I just said about how I'm revolted.
Oh my God.
So the dichotomy is real, but I'm finding myself really struggling because I had to do social media for my second business that I don't have anymore, thank God. And I just am really struggling because I do think, like, I think about the four of us here, I think we have things to offer, and it's not the traditional things that we see. And I think people want to feel connected and in community, and sometimes that happens through social media. But then I also am finding myself being like really, I don't know, just irked. I haven't like I've been writing more and then waiting and pausing. This is the stillness. I'm not doing things that don't feel right just now.
I've read your writing. I think it's
Thanks.
great. Yeah.
I mean, even as a founder, I've been advised, oh, we need to see your face a little bit more on social media. Like, my work is not done on social media. It's done behind.
Yeah.
Why do I need to go show my face to everybody? I mean, it's okay. The work is still getting done. I don't need social media to prove that the work I do is good.
So maybe they need to see this part, right? The silly us, the fun us.
honest, real you.
Yeah, the
Your
opera
face is
singer
beautiful. I could
you.
use more of it.
I can't go out there and say and imitate an influencer on our Color Me Safe Foundation.
You can be the opera singer.
I can do that on my personal page.
On
I might lose followers.
No, but maybe it is the balance between like you want to be human and real and be
Yeah.
honest, but you also don't want to be performative. And
Right.
also we have to, I think, come to terms with the fact that whether it's AI or social media, like there is a benefit here of reaching more people and connecting more people to get that level of safety across the world. And I think that maybe there's a balance, maybe that there's a way that the way you intentionally treat it and the way you consume it and the way you are with it, that matters more, right?
The power's ours, right?
Yeah.
What do you think the world needs, Farha?
Oh, thank you. I didn't think anybody would ask me any questions today.
I'm good at picking up cues. Sometimes.
I was just about to ask her.
Yeah, we're all on the same page. You just did it first.
Thanks, Aliya.
That's a good question. I think that outside of safety, because I think that's a really good one. I think that I would agree with that. Maybe like what I struggle with the most, and I think people tell me this too, clients, is like, hey, where do I find friends that think like this? Or like, where do I find friends that are like also working on themselves? Where do I find friends that are also like wanting to break patterns and like do all this stuff? And I'm like, good question. I'll follow up with you next week. And I have no answer because I have absolutely nowhere to find these people. So I think it's also maybe like, Rumi says, what you seek is seeking you, or what you look for is finding you. I think something around the lines of like, how do we get these people in the same spaces that have the collective rage together, that have the willingness to be safe and share and be vulnerable? So I think the search of that community is what people are craving, and it's hard to find, and it's hard to identify what's performative, what's real. There's a lot of people who use the therapeutic words, and what's going on in the world is just like mumbo jumbo and like filler. And then when you really start to talk to them, you're like, hold on, like I'm dysregulated looking at you, like that's how bad this is. That's really rude.
That's where the RBF
but whatever.
Imagine saying that to someone. That would ruin their life.
But I'm being honest, like some people just know the words and know the flow, but then like inside it's chaos, right? And not that that's bad. I'm just kind of trying to communicate that it's hard to find people who are truly trying to do the work and challenge themselves, but also understand the world and build connection. And that search is something I'm craving, and I think people around me crave, and I have no good answers. Besides, I made these 4 people get together so we could pretend like we have it for 2 hours.
You said you're included in that 4 people.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, me too.
Love you. Oh, damn. I keep hitting that mic.
Okay. The new gen way.
Is that okay?
You My niece
has
a recording where she goes,
oh, yes.
This one, that too. This is the Korean heart. Yeah.
Oh, is that what
Can I just snap? Sorry, that doesn't belong. Okay.
Actually, that is
Like
the only thing that belongs, because people can actually hear your snap.
Oh,
Nobody's
sorry.
like watching this video.
Oh,
That's
what
is it?
I see.
That's
thumb
hard.
right behind forefinger makes a small heart.
Aww. I love y'all.
That's sweet. Yeah. Vikash, what about you? What do you think people are secretly going for?
Oh man, I don't know.
He doesn't know.
I think that whether it's on socials or in real life or conversations, that I think there's a desire for authenticity. And even on socials or anything like that, I do think that people respond better to stuff that's authentic. And I was thinking about that even as you were saying, like, yeah, I can't get on the Calling Me Safe page and just bust out an opera. And there was a part of me that's like, yeah, where's that rule though? I mean, you couldn't, but that is it's very human to be 3-dimensional in that way. And I understand that. And then I'm also like, but the silliness is a part of it. And when it's out of the conversation, then the implications that we have to be serious all the time. And not that that's bad necessarily, but it's also like there are a lot of rules that we all kind of know as soon as social media is mentioned, or rules that it's like, oh, but this is how you need to present. And it has the same feel as like professional, outdated dress codes, essentially, or like
that's
corporate
the thing
culture
you opted out
shit.
of a long time ago.
Yes, it is.
Dress codes. I love that.
Yeah.
I love
my
that.
favorite part of private practice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
So, oh my God. Like,
I wear whatever.
this is what I went to work. And I mean, I've gone into sessions like with my hood on or what. There's just no, and no, they don't want the fucking.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Shit. They don't want that. They're like,
disconnecting.
and this was an earlier thing that someone said regarding how to be there. I'm not sure how it came up, but like how to be there for clients or what that is. I'm like, there's so much relief in just solidarity of sitting with each other and being real about it. It's like, do you know what's going on? No. Do you know?
Yeah.
No, that fucking sucks, right? Yeah. And then all of a sudden it's a little bit better because now we have community.
Yeah.
And so I think authentic community is what it comes back to. Because even on socials and stuff, people, I feel like, respond better to when someone's just being real. And even if someone's presenting, trying to be real, you can feel the energy difference of someone that's actually real versus a
Yeah.
space that isn't.
Yeah.
And even if you can't label it, like I think our bodies can tell. Like there's an energy shift, there's a feeling shift, there's
Oh, for
something,
sure.
there's some
Yeah.
alarm that goes off. And so I think to answer, I think everybody's looking for some kind of connection and authenticity. I think a lot of people are misguided in what that looks like and are claiming that they understand what it is. And if they have this solution, like the erasure of an entire people, all of a sudden they'll start to feel better. And that's not what they want. That's what they say that they want. It's not what's actually, when the problems are still going to exist after their supposed really fucked up mission ends, then it's going to be too late because the people are already gone. And that's how that'll play out if it, God forbid it does, but if that's how it'll play out if it gets to that point. And everybody else that already knows better to not look for that as the way to figure some stuff out, it's like they're just looking for community and conversation and authenticity, I think. I will say one of the things that you were mentioning regarding, and this is something that's got lost, I think, with globalization, as wonderful as globalization is people that are looking to be in rooms with like-minded people. It really risks groupthink so much. There's little practice to actually be able to kind of try and connect with something uncomfortable. And I'm not including any of the safety considerations that should be a part of that, obviously, but the skill set around being around people and being in public even is just gone. COVID did not help with that, of course, necessarily. I mean, and then everything after that, whether it went virtual or social, things became a little too convenient. And there's a level of skill around discomfort that I think we've just sort of lost.
Yeah.
I love that so much.
Agreed.
I was gonna say, like, these days, I very rarely sit across from somebody who I completely disagree with and have that confrontation and have that argument, or not argument, but this
Like know how to be in
discourse. Yeah,
conflict.
to be in conflict. But I think when we're talking about what's going on in the world and what's happening, and we're talking about collective rage, I think we're like talking about one side and perspective of things. So I guess to Vikash's point, like when you guys are, I mean, how often do you spend time with people who disagree with you? And do you treat that as an opportunity for connection and growth, or do you avoid it completely? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because sometimes we just have to get uncomfortable to get comfortable. Therefore, we have to have these conversations, whether you like it or you disagree or you agree, and we have to be okay with that. And we need to be comfortable with that.
Yeah. And not saying that conversation is the solution, but it's definitely like the start, right? Like if we're not even talking to the people we disagree with or have different perspectives, what exactly are we doing? Groupthink? Like, right? Like what are we doing?
Risks groupthink. But
Risk,
Is that when reason and rationale has gone out the door? When we can't have those types of conversations?
Yeah.
I think reason and rationale are only useful even if like
depends on who you're talking
we're
to.
feelings first, period, regardless, right? So when it supplements, it's great, and when it doesn't, oof.
Yeah. But really though, like how often are you guys in conversation?
To be honest, and this might sound crazy. I don't think it is. My wife is probably the first person that comes to mind. We are very, very different people, but we are so deeply in love with each other. Like she's wonderful.
Low.
Like if you examine the way that me and her navigate our lives, I actually had dinner with a friend earlier this week, and we were just catching up with someone I hadn't spoken to in a long time, and she was just asking about the details of the day-to-day of our married life, and her feedback was like, you guys are like so different. And it is, if you examine like the way that our days today work or what our ideal for how we would operate is, there is a lot of pretty fundamental significant differences in the way that we navigate our day-to-day life. The alignment is, I think, value system, obviously, but then there's a deep humanism sort of core to both of us that is extremely aligned. And so we constantly know how to make space for each other. But we do have a lot of disagreements. I mean, in relationships in general, the healthiest ones are going to have that, period. And on top of that, like the way that we just navigate our day-to-days are just so, there's a lot of difference. But because of that, my world and understanding of so many things has grown so much. And I think that she would say the same thing and just being in partnership with me too. But that was only possible because we kind of kept
The
up,
space.
kept the space for
Yes.
each other.
Yeah.
And this, so all of it came down to like the core thing that was never sacrificed in any of our stuff was humanism, meaning I was given permission to be a person, she was given permission to be a person. And that was, and whenever there was fighting, it was always fighting. We don't really like argue like that, but when we do, it's towards each other and with the intention of trying to understand. And I feel like as long as you have that, then you could talk to anybody. The problem is if somebody doesn't have that and they're coming in to dominate as opposed to like understanding. But I feel like all you really need is two people that are walking in to try to, even a most recent example, I actually was at my cousin's, a couple of my younger cousins graduated high school and college respectively. Two siblings were 4 years apart. And so we went to this graduation party and at the graduation party we met, there was this caterer and the caterer was, man, I forgot his name. I think his name is Chef John. He does this thing with Cafe Momentum, which is a restaurant that operates in Dallas.
Downtown.
Yes.
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 I met him. He was a caterer for that. But this event, because I'm Thummer and my cousins are also Thummer background, at least half. And so they were making dosa as part of the catering live and everything. I bring this up because the chef at Cafe Momentum, he was really taken by that. And he was just like eyeing it. This is a bearded white dude. Looked him. His beard was incredible, by the way. It's one of the best beards I've ever seen in my life. Anyways, but he was taking it in, and I was like, "Yo, are you gonna get some dosa?" And then he just launched into this story about the time that he spent at like one of his friends' weddings in South India, and he was like, "And dosa is the best breakfast food in the world," and it's like this entire thing, right? And and he went like he did a motorcycle tour through some of the coasts of like South India, and he was just like, it was so wonderful and it was so beautiful, and I felt so privileged to be there, and there was just this love for the other that he was not part of his normal. You can't like mimic that.
No, that's
It
what
was not
authenticity
his,
is.
that was authenticity, and it's not the culture he grew up with. It's not what he and he was really careful too. He was like, I know where I went, but I don't know how to pronounce the names. I don't want to butcher it. So he kind of spelled it out and we helped him put it together. But there was just this embracing of understanding something that he wasn't a part of, but was able to enjoy and love and then kind of have a relationship in and of itself. And that plus what I was mentioning with like me and my wife too, there's that quality is something that you have that and you can have a conversation with anybody. But both people or whoever's in the room need to be able to walk in with it.
Would you call it like openness?
I think so.
Right?
It's something about human. I think that the value itself, I feel like humanism is the word for it.
Okay.
Everyone in the room has permission to be a person and everything that comes with. So then you walk in with that and give yourself space and them space too. That's
No, it's beautiful.
All you need
More
is
of that.
love.
You and your wife have it. You guys are married. Let's do it with other people.
It's beautiful. I think that's where, I don't know if this goes along, aligns with what you were saying, Vikash, but you know how we talk about, oh, this is my other half?
Yeah.
No, I'm whole. It's not my other half.
Yeah.
I think I'm seeing a lot of that.
Yeah.
You have
Two
to be
holes coming
two holes
together.
to coming together.
We were
Like
both,
I'm
I think,
complete. You did
people.
not complete me.
Yes.
I'm complete.
Thank you, Jerry Maguire.
I always think about that. I'm like, but I am complete.
You are complete.
Don't complete me. I
Yeah.
love you
You
for
are
my life,
complete.
but you don't complete me.
I mean, well, that is such a tangent, but yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Sorry.
Still relevant.
It's still relevant because it's an important message and it
love.
needs to happen here. No, that was really powerful, I think. I think like I spend a lot of time thinking and hoping that we could have more conversations like this with people we disagree with and with the willingness and openness and humanism, like to understand that everyone's perspective, even though it completely like derails from yours, comes from their own learning and their own experience and their own childhood and their own set of constraints or whatever it is. And their conscious levels and all the things, right? But if we don't have them, it's what feels like heartbreaking in the forward momentum of making like this world feel less like us against each other
Yeah.
and more moving towards, like Vikash said.
Yeah. For me, I think about where do I have these conversations? There's a few places, and I can say a few years ago, I've learned to be better. I've learned to get better at this. Vikash, what you were saying, like humanize, because I think there was a time in the maybe just even a few years ago where certain topics, like you could hear the high pitched voice come out. Like I couldn't wrap my mind around people not understanding what was happening in the world, whatever it was, and it would just rage. Honestly, it would enrage me, and that would take over. And then I'm like, "Duh, duh, duh," and what do you mean you don't understand why it's not enough, and why we have to speak up, and everything matters, you know? So there's just this way it would take over in conversations, and obviously that's not helpful, and it wasn't helping me to connect with people. It wasn't helping the other person to hear me. But it took a while for me to get to it. Honestly speaking, it just took a while for me to get to another place. I have what I consider immediate family members, not like the family of 4, but still immediate, right? Where I'm shocked because most of my family's on the same page. There's some differences, but we're pretty much on the same page. And so then when there's a member of that family that isn't, I'm always like, how did this happen? You know who you grew up with, like it takes a minute. And in that I had to realize I really do love this person. I want them to always see me as a person in their life that they can turn to and that will be there for them. I never want them to feel alone in the world. And so I had to learn to say, help me understand that perspective. I'm going to tell you, I do not understand it. I don't get it. I genuinely don't. Like internally, I'm just like, I don't get it. And I'm caught off guard because I didn't expect a person in the immediate family to have this way of thinking and belief system, and it's throwing me off internally. But I love that person. And there's moments where I have to say, okay, gotta walk away because we're just not going to see eye to eye on this. I don't know how to make it different. I feel off balance, but that's for me to deal with, right? Like that's my stuff. And I'm going to try to if I'm going to pick away at it, I can't do it through rage. I can only I think one of the things that I talk about, even in therapy and sessions with clients who are coming in upset about the same thing, is I think we're going to make a difference with compassion, right? Like, I think if we sit with compassion in the things that are important for us or that feel important to the world and making it more hydrated, less dehydrated, right? Like, to me, I think compassion is going to be the place that we need to come from in order to help rehydrate. And so that's what I've been trying to come to terms with. It has been hard because I have people who I considered close to me who are different ethnicities, and the conversations, like I can feel myself getting off, I can feel myself being like, what do you mean you don't understand the memories of like things that happened in childhood, right? Like just watching certain things in childhood happen. So what I remember is like my brother got taken away in handcuffs when I was a little kid. I was like 8 years old, and we were playing outside, silly, like 8-year-old, 15-year-old, right? We're playing outside. The soccer ball gets, thrown up or onto the roof, stuck on the roof. My brother climbs up to the roof and throws it down. Well, I'm 8 and I thought it was funny, so I threw it back on the roof. And so my brother and I are going back and forth like this. Well, I guess one of the neighbors saw.
Oh no.
And called the police. And my brother's 15. And my parents, I can like feel it. Right? My parents obviously come outside, and they still took my brother away in handcuffs. And I'll never forget the memory of like sitting there and feeling so guilty that like my brother went away because of me. And that like just wanting him to come home, but also like, why do they have to take him? Like, we didn't do anything wrong, and my parents are there and they're telling him like he's a member of our household and nothing happened. But the police decided that, of course, they have to take him because he's 15, and they just have to drive him to the police station. And my dad followed in the car and then could bring it back. He didn't get booked or anything, but they had to handcuff him and take him to the police station because it was a call. And only then could they like give him to my father. And so when sometimes I'm talking to people of different ethnicities who don't understand that that is the reality for so many people, I can just see red.
Yeah.
And it's hard for me to not see red. It's
Yeah.
hard for me to know who I'm safe with. And sometimes it's about safety, right? Like internal safety. If you look like someone who I am used to not being safe around, my alarm bells are off. I maybe don't always know how to, like, maybe I've overcorrected and checked my emotions too much because I have to be safe, because we have to be safe. Like, I have to teach my dark skin
Survival.
son to be safe,
Yes.
right? And so I think about that. What it also means to extend that on the flip side of it is now I live in this community, like I'm a mom in community, and I think about the moms around me, and some of us have views that are same, some of us look different, some of us look similar, and it's been about creating safety in this group to say some of us have views that are similar, and we have a lot of views that are similar, and we find each other and we try to like huddle together and talk.
Yeah.
But then we're really amazed that there's people that we really, really like that we know have a little bit of different views. We don't know the spectrum of the different, but I trust that person. I have certain conversations where I can hear that person say like, like they see my son.
Yeah.
And if they can see my son, right, then I can maybe protect what happened to my brother. I can protect what happened to my brother from happening to my son.
Yeah.
And so sometimes I come from it from like that perspective, as I'm like, I know that's like feels really methodical and like
No,
strategic,
it's good.
It's
It's very good.
but like I think about I need to be careful and mindful and build community in that way because it's going to protect my next generation, like quite literally. You know?
Community as safety is such a universal human thing, regardless of
Yeah.
I struggle with that compassion piece a lot because like it is good in spaces where it can be held in that way and heard and listened to. But I mean, what is it? My wife told me yesterday that I think there was a group of people that burned the Indian flag in front of Frisco.
Oh yes.
Just a few days ago.
Just a few days ago. I'm like, they're not. They'll off me. I'm not gonna. I can't go and just try. I can't do like the Daryl Davis shit with those guys. Probably right. Like I mean, he was incredible for. Sorry, I'm assuming y'all know Daryl Davis. You know what that story or who that is? No?
You can say more
No?
because there's
Yeah.
more
Oh,
people
okay, sorry.
listening than us.
Daryl Davis. Daryl, he is a musician, but he's a musician who essentially made a mission to kind of befriend Klan members and just continue. He's a black male musician who befriend Klan members and through friendship with them just slowly got Klan members to get to leave the Klan. But it was through just sheer curiosity, humanism, looking only for bitch points with them. He would approach them. He just completely defeated their entire schema of the concept of black that they hated. And then they, of their own accord, through sheer discomfort, sort of left the Klan. So it's like a sort of a legendary story of humanism work. But and the piece that gets left out of that is like there's a lot of privilege and safety in those conversations that are already taken care of.
Yeah.
There's survival shit you don't have to account for. And as far as I know, nobody was waving a gun at him during any of his attempts through any of this stuff, right?
Yeah.
Or burning a country's flag.
Yeah.
That's your ancestry. So the struggle then comes from trying to calculate the balance between where I need to be staunch versus where compassion, like what will work the best in that moment.
Yeah.
Because I need to survive to have the conversation, but then who can I have it with and to what level and how long does that take?
Yeah.
Because for one person, it'll take forever. And it'll be worth it, but that's a lot bigger than just that one conversation. And so I say all this to say it is a giant I don't know right now. I like to think when I'm in the context and in the situations, I'll know what to say, I'll know what to do, or at least I can suss out, I think, whether or not it is worth trying to say more versus just code switching for the sake of surviving. And it feels so big that I'm like, I know that I'm doing something when I try to do the compassionate talk, but I also, it's really hard not to feel discouraged by how little of a drop it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
And even in, I mean, because Frisco is, my wife and I live in Frisco. I mean, we're there. We see it. The mayoral election is happening right now.
Yeah.
And we're talking about one town, one city hall.
Yeah.
Right. Let alone everything else. And so when I can have that compassion piece, great. And I feel like I'm okay with that level of discomfort.
Yeah.
And man, like it's hard to not it's hard to be able to find a space where someone isn't just constantly threatening a sense of violence alongside it, because they have been allowed to bring it out a lot quicker than maybe they would have once before.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Permission granted.
yeah, exactly. And so the ability to even engage with it, then it becomes so much harder. So the humanism piece is so important, and which I know I was saying too, right? And I was like, it is really important, and fuck,
Safety.
how do I do both? Can I do both? How do I balance between these two things? And I'm not 100%
Is it
sure.
worth it? Yeah.
Is it worth it?
Sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead. Go ahead.
You reminded me that because I was driving, my office is in Frisco, and I was driving and I saw a sign that said like, don't call Islam a religion, call it what it is, a terrorist group. And I
Yeah.
was driving, almost swerved. Like I was like, oh, for me, what it reminded me of is during 9/11, like after 9/11, my mom and dad immediately came to my dorm room. I was in college, and my dad was like, be quiet. And it's not the first time my dad has told me to be quiet. Like even with like Palestine, my dad's like, please stop. Please stop talking. Be quiet. You know, like I need you to be safe. And as a father, he's telling me like I need my daughter to be safe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's what he's looking at. He's looking at I need my daughter to be safe, especially because I was traveling a lot at that time. So he's like, girl, he's looking at me like, what kind of I raised her, but what did I raise? Like, poor man. He's like, what did I do? Him and my mom probably like, oh dear. But and after that, I mean, I had blonde highlights. I didn't have my hair turned curly. I made my hair intentionally curly. I made sure I tried everything in the world to not look Muslim. What can I do to not come off as Muslim? And so there was a fear in every day where I lived, and it felt like it dissipated for a period of time. And now it feels like intensely back.
Yeah.
And so I to your point, I agree. Like I can create compassion or have compassion and create this in this small circle of community, like the street I live on with these little, because I can learn to slowly get to know them and build relationship and relate. This is my mom tribe. But outside, I make sure people hear my voice so they hear that it's an American accent. Right? Like I'm back to that mentality, and I'm like, what am I doing? Because it was the same girl who's like, okay, what am I doing? What am I wearing? How do I look? How do I make sure that someone's not going to try to attack me or do something? Right? And these things where you don't even realize like the internal thoughts that just like automatically go into play to attempt to protect yourself because you're not in safety, but then also make no sense that you're saying that, right? Like,
And that's the most keyword, safety. 2016, we were talking about permission granted, right?
Yeah.
I've been in this country since I was 5 years old, never experienced an ounce of racism. I lived in a small rural town in southeastern New Mexico until 2016. I was filling up my gas tank in Murphy. Two guys got out of a big truck. Hey, sand nigger, go back to your country.
That's what they used to call my dad.
I was in complete shock. Never experienced that in my life. What are they going to do? If I say something, are they going to pull a gun out? Are they going to attack me?
Right.
First time I've ever felt my safety being at risk at that time. And since then, it's been one thing after another. And when you have to feel that outside and then also feel a level of unsafety within your own community, that's when I start having issues. Yeah.
I was asking Janu about something. This was part of our conversation yesterday when she was telling me about the Frisco Town Hall piece. Is we're having that conversation of identity versus survival, or like to what level of dehumanization one of us might. And it was all theoretical. We don't know what we would do in the situation, but like to what level of dehumanization might occur before we say, no, you know what? I'd rather you just take my life. And she mentioned one of her lines was, she wears a purta always. She always has, as long as I've known her, very, very strong pride point. Always,
Is that the
wonderful.
red,
Yes, it is. Bindi. And so she wears it everywhere. And she's like, if I'm told and someone's threatening my life and saying to remove my purta, I'm not going to do that. And we had a conversation about that because I was like, yeah, fair enough. Makes sense. Where's the line between living to tell about that experience so that the movement starts
Yeah.
versus the not martyrdom necessarily, but like being a token and a symbol for that movement. What is more powerful? It's hard to say which one
Yeah.
is practically more effective and more powerful because you don't know until afterwards, and you
Right.
just have to make the choice in the moment. And then her response was, "I don't know, but I can just go with what I feel."
Yeah.
I said, "Okay, fair
Yeah.
enough." Because I didn't have because she asked me to. She's like, "What would you prefer I do?" And I was like, "The part of me that loves you and wants community with you wants you to stay alive." And my attempted rationale to avoid losing you is, but you can talk about it afterwards, kind of thing. But then this other part of me was like, if you make that choice, I know that I would respect and support
Yeah.
it. I understand.
Yeah.
I know that I would be able to understand that. But the fact that that would even have to be a question to answer.
Yeah.
The fact,
right?
yeah,
The fact
that's
that
a real
Yeah.
conversation.
Yeah.
And viable.
And the
Yeah.
amount of love you have to say,
Right.
Like,
Agreed.
I love you enough for you to make that decision in a way that feels right
It'll
for
be
you,
respected. Yeah.
versus like, stay for me,
Yeah.
right? Like, please, like that's hard. Of course, we want our loved ones to stay for us. Of
Yeah.
course, we want
Absolutely.
to live life out together and have all these things, but then being able to respect, like, this is what matters to her.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that we have to
Beautiful.
have this conversation, the fact that you guys even had that conversation.
Wow.
I drove by that
is-
sign. I know. I stopped and read the whole thing. It was actually.
Yeah.
I swear, I was like, oh, what?
There was
It
also
was-
a guy on the corner somewhere in Frisco. I think this was in last year's elections. He was on a corner. I think it was maybe Independence near the Hanuman temple, where he would hold up a sign saying "Indians go back home." Is he? I think he's still there.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
Farha, I have a question for you. How do you? What are your thoughts about community and compassion?
Yeah.
Is there a balance in community? We need it, and then do we need all of it?
What do you trying to exclude some people?
Oh, I mean that. Yeah.
Well, I was
don't
going
need
to
to
get
be
more
there.
specific for you if you need.
Please.
Yeah. I got names.
Our names.
Well, like, think about, like,
No.
okay, I'm going to let you do.
We can talk names after. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. Drop the names. I honestly, I don't think I'm going to lose this stance on, like, I think there are things that are unjustifiable. There are things that are like, to your point, like, I don't know which way to enter the situation with however much compassion. I can't see eye to eye with this person, this act, this way of thinking. And I struggle with, on a personal, deep spiritual level, I would like to think that we are more similar than different. And I feel like I get that that's not consciously aware all the time with everyone in all places. And that's why we have to have conversations like these. And a lot of it is built into our body and our survival instincts based on our entire generations before us and our experiences. So a lot of this is what it is. But I'd like to believe that the more impact I make with just one person, if I had that energy to give that one person that dose of compassion or space, I like to believe it's energetically infectious. I like to believe that energy is transmuted slowly, inch by inch, across different people and worlds and groups. And I think that's a little bit of why I like the work we do in some ways, with clients, but also like with the people in our lives. I think that's optimistic. I think it doesn't solve for everything. I understand that people would look at me and be like, okay, yeah, like, how do you explain XYZ?
Right.
And that's fair. But at some point, I have to find my own faith and my own rhythm to participate in life.
Yeah.
And that's the
Beautifully
rhythm
said.
that keeps me for asking me and including me in the conversation.
I just want you to take up some space.
Ooh,
Yeah.
mic drop. Okay, so guys, we did an hour and a half of conversation, and
Yeah.
I did not forget that in season 1, I did this thing at the end where it was like rapid fire
Oh
round.
God,
I
here
kinda
we go.
forgot.
I'm not prepared.
Vikash said he
What's that?
forgot as if it was bad.
I
Everyone
just
enjoyed
forgot.
that, and everyone had such good answers.
You added that. I did not. All I said was I forgot. There was no sentimentality
That's true, that's
attached.
That's
whatsoever.
true. But I have new questions this time,
Okay.
and they're really on point. in my opinion.
As a person that created these questions, I think they're great.
We have to go really fast.
I think we should ask her.
No.
I got rapid fire.
These questions I don't mind not answering. Okay, ready? So what order do you guys want to go in? Vikash first, and then
I nominate Vikash.
Yeah, that seems to be the trend.
Okay, whatever. All right, so there's a few of these. Really fast, whatever comes to your mind first. You don't have to defend it. Lo kya kahenge, who cares? Okay.
What will people say?
Yeah. Okay, 1. What would immediately destroy your peace right now?
I mean, a million things. I just mentioned my wife.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's
a brutal question, man.
It is.
Yeah,
that works.
If my transitions didn't work out in a good way, like I think just any level of chaos that disrupts that from landing would be really, really hard for me to deal with.
Yeah.
Because I am pretty floaty in a good way, but that could change and that would suck. And pivoting would be hard.
Guess just expect the unexpected. I don't know, honestly, what would destroy my peace right now.
Yeah.
I've just learned life is whatever it comes, and I'll deal with it when I deal with it.
I love that.
I think for me, like intentionally putting myself back in chaos, or like not forgetting to be in the stillness, like where I am right now, I'm really good with. And I need to I work really hard to go back to it, even when my mind and my thoughts are a mile a minute. Go outside, read my book. If I lost some of those things that create stillness, that would probably be rough right now.
Okay. Next, what's your most?
Wait, you're not going to answer?
Nope.
Yeah.
No, hell no.
Okay. Jeez. All right. What would immediately destroy
You can't
your
be
peace
like,
right
you're
now?
not including me in the conversation, and when we include you.
Thank you. It's the 4 of us, but you 3 answer.
Convenient.
Conveniently.
Convenient.
What would immediately destroy my peace right now? I did this transition to get less clients, and I started tech again. And there's a sweet balance that I'm trying to create financially and energetically. It would really kill my peace if that does not work out.
Yeah.
But so far, so good. So, okay.
Awesome.
What's your most I'm healing but also unwell habit?
I am healing but also unwell habit. Like guilty pleasure? No, that's not what that means. Healing but also unwell habit.
Interpret it as you may.
Okay, I got a good one. I, instead of reading before, I used to have a pretty good habit of reading every night before I went to sleep. I've pivoted onto screens before sleep, but what I'm specifically watching is this show called The Owl House, which makes just a adult coded animation on Disney. It's really, really nice. And it's helping more than reading is for me right now, but it is also screen, so I'm having a hard time falling asleep.
Yeah, that'll do that.
So it's good, and I'm having a hard time falling asleep.
I'll
probably do it.
What's the question?
I'm healing, but I'm also unwell. I have an answer for you.
Wait, like for her?
I'm healing. I would love to know my answer, please.
The impression you did. I felt like that was so
Which one?
That wasn't.
Which one?
Hold on. You're saying it's unwell?
Yeah, I thought it was.
Is it like right on?
No, it's like so spot on, but also like
so unwell. Oh my God. Follow me.
No, you answer yours. I was just kidding.
Satire copium.
Oh my gosh.
Satire copium.
I'm healing, but I'm unwell.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's an interesting characterization.
It's like, okay, it's like when somebody says I'm fine, but they're crying.
I think I'm well.
I'm
You're
okay.
I'm
well. I'm unwell if my new puppy Beam creates some mischief when I'm sleeping and I have to discover it the next morning. That I will be unwell.
You mean like eat his poop?
Exactly.
Oh.
I will be unwell.
It's very, very
no, that's perfect.
But I am well.
Yes.
I love that.
I'll take that.
Okay, the irony of mine.
I mean, it's an ironic question, to be fair.
Right?
Yeah.
I was like, I think mine actually might fit well. So I love to run.
Okay.
But I find that I run when traumatic, stressful things happen. That's like my instinct is to run.
The literal physical outlet for...
And I'm learning that I'm now running because I'm actually healing and like it and feel good. But it's also my
that's a perfect
That is
that's
really convenient, actually.
Yeah.
Right? So
that's actually a really good answer.
Yeah, like it is my very You'll find me running if I'm not well, but you'll also find me when I'm healing, running when I'm healing.
Do you
Oh my
need
God,
a
yes.
running? I'll walk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been trying to walk
You'll
more
see me
now.
for a few seconds while I just slowly lag behind.
That's what my best friend does. We go on. We started
I'll
doing
walk.
5Ks together, like
Yeah.
my best
That's
friend's family
amazing.
and our family and
Yeah.
my family,
Yeah.
and we'll like run together for the first few minutes, and I'm like, bye,
Yeah.
see you at the finish. And it's cute because like she has 3 kids and I have my one, and the 3 kids also like do it, and I say bye to them too. See you at the end.
Peace out to all
We've
of
I
got
love it.
them.
trackers.
I admire runners. I do.
Guys, wrap
Okay,
it.
sure.
Wrap
Okay,
it.
sorry.
Sorry.
Damn.
You can.
What about-
you
Yeah,
can
what was your
edit it to be
answer?
right.
Yeah.
What's your answer?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Similar to Aliya's, but like, the spectrum is disassociation all the way to like transcendence.
Mm-hmm.
I blur the two. You know what I mean? Catch me
Those are
meditating.
synonyms. Those are.
Oh my God, I
I
like
said the same
that.
word twice.
I'm here for it.
Yeah. So, what am I really doing? I'm transcending. Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, next. What's something you think everyone needs less of? Season
have an
1,
immediate
you
answer,
guys
yeah.
had so many answers.
The rapid fire felt easier than this shit. Damn. Less of.
Yeah.
I know we talked a lot about conversations. I
Yeah.
feel like people need to talk less and do more.
Yeah.
Everyone's talking, and they're talking a lot.
This podcast is
Blah,
us
Not
talking.
including this shit.
Not including
We
this
just talked for
podcast.
2
Like,
hours. Is
I have,
that
like,
enough?
I have it. I have an example of this, just real quick.
Please.
One of my closest friends had a baby daughter last month. It's wonderful, and one of the things that has come with that is I've noticed that there's a burden to the ask of like, oh yeah, please let me know what you need and what kind of support you have, instead of just doing the thing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the connotation I mean, where it's like I don't ask him, I
Yeah.
just show up at his door with snacks.
Aw.
Yes.
Like that's
Love that.
I
I
wish
like that too.
we need more of
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And less of
100%.
the, hey, you tell me what you need. I'm like, just try.
Just
Can I
Just
bring
try
you chai or
something.
Yeah.
coffee?
Yeah. Make it even a little choice, or just show up with something you
Because,
know.
like, just
as a
show up with
token.
both.
Yeah.
Show up with
I
both.
could do that too.
Show up
Yeah.
with both. Like that's that
Sweet. I
kind
like
of thing
that.
where it's like just do.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Be.
I like that.
But
I like
listen to the
that.
podcast episode.
But
He didn't
listen to
mean
the
that,
podcast.
obviously.
That is
Certain types
doing.
of
It's a doing,
conversation.
right?
It's a
Yes.
doing thing. It's called listening.
Why are you punishing
Oh,
your viewers
Just
on
making sure
the
we get
first
this.
episode? All right.
So I need. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my gosh.
I need less of, hey, can you do this for me? And more of, hey, how are you?
That's sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Check in,
Just check in.
care, non-transactional. Like
Exactly.
You were saying. Yeah. I like it. Aliya,
I have 2. I need less
Say 2.
AI and less performing.
Less AI, less performing.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah. It's my
Yeah,
thing right
that's
now. It's my
wonderful.
soapbox I want to stay
I
on.
love it.
No, I think that's
It's a
important.
very good soapbox.
I'll answer. I'm gonna
Wait,
steal.
hold
do.
on. Wait.
I need
Farah,
to
what
see-
is
yeah.
your answer?
Yeah, there we go.
I'm gonna kind of steal Vikash's, but instead of like
Hey. Just kidding. Go on.
instead of like it's like less doing but more mine is a little bit more selfish. Like it's more being. Like
Mm.
just be, have you ever tried that and just exist?
And
I
that's
just
not
listened to a
selfish,
podcast
though.
That's not
about that.
selfish.
Yeah,
I'll send it to you.
I love just being.
See, the
That's what
fact-
I'm doing right now,
The
even
fact
though
that
you
there was
think I'm
even
doing
a disclaimer for it to be selfish, just in and of itself, like that sucks.
That's
a
actually
thing
true,
it has to
yeah.
even be.
I meant selfish relative to the way you were saying it, if that makes sense. Like this is more
Yes.
about my existence
You
than
to
other
yourself
people.
than
Yeah.
for others.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're being, so when I was listening to that, if
There's
you're
no
being,
follow-up questions in rapid
Sorry.
fire. Just kidding.
Don't try to be. Just be.
I want organic conversation, but I want to build rules around the organic conversation.
like I was thinking about in relation to what he said, like if
Yeah.
you're being, instead of you're doing for love or you love doing, you're like
Mm.
loving.
Yes.
And then you are
Mhm.
love. You're not
Loving is a much
Yeah.
better way
do
to
that's
phrase
so
it.
like
Mm.
I think they can mesh.
Yes.
Very
I'm trying to say.
philosophical.
I like
Yeah,
that.
I like that.
Very
Just
This is my
philosophical.
philosophical era.
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
I like it.
Okay. What's one thing that makes you feel human again?
Dance. Actually, there's so many things. Dance, the hobby spaces, community, and honestly, my work in the physical, because I have a physical office space now and I have a colleague, and like
Yeah.
it's very healing to be in that bubble. All of those things, like there's a facet of it, but the first thing that comes to mind definitely is dance right now.
Mm.
Yeah.
I think laughter with my family, my husband, and children, talking to kids.
Mhm.
You know, they bring out the best in you. They're
That's so
just so honest and sweet. Just the other day, my niece brought over 2 little spongy characters. I gave it 2 different voices and a British voice and an
Beauty.
Indian accent, and
Aw.
she just ate it up. And she laughed, and it was just completely stupid on my part. She's like, Padma, you're so funny. Just to hear her say, you know, I'm funny. It was just like, okay, I
Yeah.
love this. I love these interactions, and they're just so precious. And kids are, like I said, kids are just so human.
Yeah.
They are. They
Mm.
Love, like loving. I know. I told you I'm in my blessed, okay,
Love.
phase of life.
It's a good
Love, but like loving people, like loving my son, my partner,
Mhm.
the family we're trying to build. Like that love is really filling me up big time right now.
That's great.
Beautiful.
Thank you. See, he didn't laugh at me.
I got it. What's one?
She caught
What?
on. Oh,
Yeah.
she's not.
I got it. What's it? I think my pets, like when I pick up their poop and when I wipe their butt and I wipe their paws, feel so
Naturally.
human.
Love
Like
it.
there's no AI that could replace that. You know?
You
That's just me
True story.
I mean,
all day long.
yeah.
It's
You're wrong.
Farha, have you picked up their poop today?
Yeah.
How did that make you feel?
A rules keeper.
Did you
Do
use a
that.
wipe?
Like monitor
I'm
it.
dead.
Oh my God. Did you guys watch that show growing up? Do you
Which
remember the
one?
robot show?
Yeah, Vicky. Right?
That
The
was it?
robot. Yeah,
Yeah.
Small Wonder.
She would
Nope.
like, right? You'd have to plug her
Never.
in.
Nope.
No.
Yeah.
What?
Oh my God.
Auntie
Auntie,
material.
don't say that out loud.
Do not put that.
I
in.
love
It's
aunties. I'm
that
gonna keep that in there. What do you mean?
Small Wonder.
Okay.
I'll
Last one.
idea.
Last one. What do you guys miss about older versions of yourself? Assuming you're newer. Unless you're the same, then don't answer the question. Gauthami, go. We'll go out of order.
Procrastination.
You miss that?
I do miss that
Mm.
because life is just so busy, you know?
Mm,
I've
yeah.
got about 10 windows open.
Yeah.
My battery says 14%,
Mm-hmm.
and I put it in low mode, but
Mhm.
still have to, you know, keep going. I love those times where I can just sit and wait. All right, I'll get it done tomorrow. Yeah, I
Yes.
can't do that.
Can't do
There's
that
no
anymore.
room for that anymore, unfortunately.
That's good.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think I miss any older versions.
Wow,
of
Vikash,
myself.
you're just
No,
perfect.
it's
You're so perfect.
So-
Vikash.
He likes where he is right now in life.
You can't miss
Yeah.
any part of it yourself. Wow.
like I think I've been blessed
is.
/ lucky enough to be able to whatever I did miss is now allowed to be a part of my life now. So it's
He's
like,
integrated. Wow.
I think that's what I'm going for.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was actually a really good
Vikash.
answer.
Like I just do what I want.
It was just a question, but whatever.
You asked it,
Just
and
kidding.
I'm here.
Just kidding. Yes,
Your turn,
no,
yes.
I kind of miss not knowing a lot of things that I know. Like I don't really want to know everything that I know. I
Slightly
know
ignorance is bliss train.
slight ignorance. I know there's a social responsibility. There's a type of responsibility.
I understand.
But man, oh man, like in college and before that, I was just so in my own. There was an innocence to that I think I miss, and I don't think I could ever incorporate unless I'm, transcending.
Yeah, and we know what that means, obviously.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I really shouldn't say all this.
Yeah. I found like the past year has actually been me getting back to certain older versions of myself because I think I'd lost them
Yep.
life situations.
Mhm.
Having said that though, like I think that what I miss the most in the most like concrete way
Mm.
is the way that my physical space was beautifully neat and organized because now with the multi-generational
Yeah.
family, that's hard to
Fair
do.
enough.
So like in a very concrete way,
Yeah.
I miss that
Yeah.
and how my life was with that. And honestly, going out and hanging out and dancing with my friends until
Oh,
3
that's so
o'clock
much
in the
fun.
morning.
We can still do that. We can still do that.
3 o'clock in the morning.
Just a kid.
Who gonna be with the child in the morning?
That's fair.
I'm gonna have to take a hotel room night. And we
Yeah.
could do that. That's
Yes.
fine.
We'll have to figure it out, but you deserve that.
So
Yeah.
concrete level, that's what I miss.
I love that.
Beautiful.
Farha, going back
Yeah.
to that question though, are we going like back teenage
You
years?
can. You can
Oh,
go
okay.
back as
Okay,
far
great.
back as you
Teenage years.
want.
Procrastination then, yeah.
She's like, same answer.
Okay.
Still
Same
same
answer.
answer.
We're good.
Yeah.
Solidly
We are
That was
good.
also true at that point.
Yeah,
So-
which is still true.
still the same answer.
Please
Thank you
don't
for
take me
checking.
back to the teenagers. Please don't make me go back to
Oh
the
my
teenagers.
goodness.
Oh.
Well, I want to thank you guys so much for participating. I know it's It was a long conversation.
This was fantastic. It was
but
fun.
I appreciated how honest and like real and vulnerable. And I told you guys to come in as real as possible, and you did. Like too much. We're gonna have to talk about
I
that
understood
later.
the assignment.
But you understood the assignment.
Yeah.
That's right. But maybe we could have some guardrails for next time. Anyways,
Oh, we do? Damn.
well, because we're going to go
Are
off
we
for
talking
an
about
hour.
dating next
No,
time?
We are doing
you want guardrails on that
conversation?
Anyways, I would like
Whoa.
to end this first episode of season 2 of Take Up Space with you guys saying, if you felt like you didn't get to say something and you really hope everyone listening got like one thing out of this, you know, maybe like they actually heard how they're really doing. Maybe it's that they ask each other how they're really doing, like really doing. Or anything. Like, is there anything you guys want to say? It's an open floor.
Stay hydrated.
I love that.
Sense of that.
I love that. Mic drop.
That's a good thing.
Season 2.
Peace.
Peace.